Annabelle, as always. Welcome back, welcome back. So we are talking about a movie from my childhood, well, my teen years, that I have not watched since I probably was in high school. So we're talking about 20-ish years or so, and that movie, if you could not tell by the title of this video, is Disturbing Behavior from 1998, and this cast includes James Marsden, Katie Holmes, Nick Stahl, Tobias Meller, the little Catherine Isabel, which I forgot that Catherine Isabel was in this movie. That's how long ago it has been since I've seen this movie. And, I shouldn't say and, William Sandler and Ethan Embry. Ethan Embry. So yeah, so those are some of the cast. So, yeah, like I said, I have not watched this movie since I was a kid, high school-ish or so, my teen years, and I came across this movie the other day on Amazon Prime, and I was like, you know what? I almost wasn't going to watch it, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch this one. And here's the thing, because, like, I almost didn't want to watch it because I'm like, dude, it really is almost so similar in the sense of it's in the same vein as, like, I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Faculty, I mean, I'll even take sort of, like, Urban Legends and everything, and I know those movies are very different, but when I say kind of the same vein as those movies, where you had a bunch of different influences, and you could feel it in those movies. Like, there is, like, a period there, like, kind of post-Scream, shows such as, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Dawson's Creek. I mean, hell, not Jennifer Love Hewitt, Katie Holmes is in this movie, who was in Dawson's Creek, and you can totally tell she's doing this movie to really kind of break the mold from her little good girl, sort of image. Her character, I don't even know what the fuck her character's name was, because I watched, like, one episode, and I was like, this is stupid, I don't want to watch it. I'm sorry, I mean, it's not stupid, I never took to it, to that show. But that's what I'm saying, where it's, like, it has those sort of, like, feels to it, where it's totally a teen movie, specifically targeting, like, certain sort of teens that sometimes may not necessarily be as much of a horror fan, but they're kind of like, oh, my friends like horror, I'm gonna go see this. But here's the thing, like, I forgot how good this movie was. I really forgot how good this movie is. It is pretty similar to The Faculty, but I feel like the two are two very different twists on a very similar story. Faculty, you have where people are kind of being taken over by this alien organism and everything. They're changing, they're becoming, like, outstanding students, almost like Stepford Wives in a sense. And that's the thing. It's a bit like Stepford Wives, except for teens who are troubled and everything. And that's the other thing, too, where, because, like, throughout time, and I feel like even more so now, like, you see this kind of trend, especially in horror movies or movies in general, where it's kind of like everyone kind of gets mixed into this sort of, like, paranoia of, like, oh my god, what's wrong with my teens? Oh my god, I need to get help for my teens and everything. And oh, my teens in a pretty tough situation. What do I do? And kind of goes to those sort of, I was gonna say unrealistic sort of fixes, but there's so many things that are kind of similar in, like, in real life, like, oh, your son or daughter is gay, send them to gay conversion or something, like, stuff like that. So in this movie, all these kind of, like, kids, these, like, sort of bad kids and everything, little off track, need a little help and everything, parents sign them up, and they get implanted, so they become outstanding students and everything. But here's the thing, as with most medical things, there are side effects. One of which is if a teen who has been implanted starts getting a little aroused and everything, this sort of implant kind of counteracts and everything and sort of defaults a bit and doesn't know how to handle these impulses. So they literally make them go crazy, violent, beat people up, or self harm themselves and everything. So there is definitely things that are not perfect about this implant. And they realize that and everything. So, of course, um, yeah, shit goes awry and everything. And it's kind of weird too, because it's like you do see the aftermath of some of these implanted kids, and doctor's kind of like, okay, well, we're gonna do this, we're gonna try this, and the assistant's like, well, are we gonna tell the parents? No, no, no. So yeah, so there's so much control in trying to have the perfect solution for troubled kids at whatever cost possible. Doesn't really matter if we lose a couple of teens, whatnot, to make sure that this is perfect. So, but yeah, no, it's a pretty fun movie, and I do kind of like that because especially too with like growing up and everything, you know, you're always kind of like finding a new way, your way and everything. And then on top of that, you know, especially with the this family that it's centered around, they're new to town and everything. They've moved to a new town and everything after the older brother passed away and everything. And it's a very kind of taboo thing. But since the parents themselves don't really want to kind of deal with it, it then kind of trickles down to the kids. They don't really know how to deal with it because their parents aren't letting them kind of deal with it and heal from this and everything. Which then, of course, what do you know, leads to possible implant. I'm just saying. But no, it's a terrific little film. It's fun. Like I said, I forget how good this one is. You know, it definitely, I feel kind of like similar to The Faculty, where there are fans of these movies, but it's so sort of easily forgotten about, and especially too when you think about, like I said, you know, when I first saw it on Prime, my first thought was like, oh god, another like Dawson's Creek-esque type of freaking horror movie from the 90s and everything, but it did take me back to being, you know, around that age and everything, as much as I hated being around that age, but kind of discovering some of the stuff like this, and then kind of rediscovering all these years later, it's fun stuff. So let me know though, you guys, in comments what you think of Disturbing Behaviors, whether you liked it, didn't like it, little things that you found in it, whatnot. Let me know. Till next time, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.